here we are, Keith Fusel and I here to welcome you to the weekend of racing here in Maryland. And today at the races here on Friday, Keith, we do have a break from stakes action this weekend, but let's discuss next weekend, of course, in that summer sizzler action here for the stakes action. That is a lot of stuff shaken down on the 29th, Keith. What's amongst those five, amongst the Memorial Dash, the Alma North, Disputed Testimony, Started in Askra, and Miss Disco? Do you have a favorite?
Obviously the Dash.
Yes,
it's,
of course.
It's just been just a solid race year in and year out. Yeah, but that would be the one I'm looking to forward to most. But yeah, 500,000 in purses, a big day, Saturday, July the 29th. Next Saturday, be here. Hopefully the weather is like it is today right now after that rain last night, or early this morning. But yeah, also on the 29th, we've got something else going on.
Yes, regardless of weather. We've got tacos and tequila for you next weekend. Clearly, you can go to laurelpark.com for more info, but 5 different types of tequila, premium tequila, a slew of tacos in whatever way you can possibly imagine. So it's a bit of an all-you-can-eat situation, but tacos all day on the 29th for tacos and tequila for a little bit of taste here at the track here at Laurel Park. And we are going to kick off some more taste at the track, except we're going to talk about today's races here on Friday, kicking off and taking a look. Of course, you mentioned, Keith, a little bit of rain. We had some weather. We are off the turf today, but they are sealing that dirt track again.
Yeah, it was harrowed briefly. Now the sealing process going on right now as we speak, calling this main track muddy and sealed. Temperature 75, and yeah, it was raining so hard up near me. I mean, my place last night, it was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. It woke me up. I was like, oh, geez, here we go.
Yep.
But, and then the text in the morning, unfortunately, off the turf. Hopefully we can get back at it tomorrow. That would be good. But we'll deal with that situation today. Hopefully we've got a couple winners for you, and we're glad you're here with us.
And let's go ahead and talk and discuss those races. Starting off in that early pick 5, of course, race number 1 in this claiming 10,000 for the 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2, going a mile and an eighth on the dirt. Let's go ahead and talk about Noble Pendergast, your top selection for Linda Albert. Yomar Ortiz gets the call. First time on a wet dirt here today.
Yeah, Blofelds are okay, though. They've been 16% so far on the wet track. First time gelding for this one on the main track. Okay, recently gelded off that break. It's going to be first time main track. And you think about, you're looking at the drop, Cal, and you think, well, kind of negative. Well, they started this horse at 12.5, maiden 12.5, first time out. So I'm not really worried. I definitely think the horse can go a mile and eighth. That try and second career start back in mid-January was pretty good. Overcame some early adversity to make a move, shifted out about 3-4 wide. Just a slight flattening. Steady hand ride, but galloped out well in that race. I think distance is the key. I think this one can kind of grind all day, catches the right kind of field. A couple horses are going to go out for the front. I believe Cypress Station, Jones Falls, who ran well, turf to dirt, gets that angle again today. Did it against the grain of the racetrack back on the 25th at Pimlico. But that drop scares me even a little bit more than Noble Pendergrass. So I'm going to stick with the 2 here. Linda Albert, the barn's been good. Lately it's been rolling right along. Some winners, some horses hitting the board. And on the drop, she's like 11 for 19 with this kind of drop in the money the last couple of years. So I'm good with that. So I'll take a shot there with this 2 to get your day started.
11 for 19. I like that. Let's take a look at your exacta play.
Okay. Yes.
We've got a throwback to Espresso Lungo from Marco Salazar, John Brusino. John Brusino brought in a nice payout, nice price play on Sunday.
Yeah, I was a little intrigued that this one went to the turf after this try. June 11th is the race we're looking at, and it's kind of used about 4 wide going into the turn and making that move into an okay pace. It just, kind of worried me a little bit, but then, it surprised me. This horse was able to kind of battle back. Had a little trouble here, had to wait. You see this comment waiting at the top of the stretch, 3/16, kind of moving there. About 3 wide. Now sitting chilly, but needs a path. Has to wait. Finishes up quite well through the last eighth of a mile. Here we go. Just kind of that steady. Not quite the seam. You're hoping a little bit more would open. Here we go. Makes the run and kind of just keeps on grinding here through the final eighth of a mile. Espresso Lungo draws inside. Certainly the pairing up the 57 and the 55 dirt figures, that's going to be good enough to be right in the mix, maybe even win this one. in today's first.
And as Keith Fusel goes in with those picks of 2-1-7-6 there in the first, let's go ahead to the second leg that does kick off that early pick 5. Keith, how do you play your early pick 5 sequence, early pick 4 sequence today? Excuse me.
Yeah, a little $15 ticket, 5, 8, 10 to get just. I should. You know what? That's my bad. We're gonna even have a cheaper ticket when it's all said and done because the 5 was a later scratch, right? So we're gonna go too deep. 8 and 10 to get you started. 2 times 2 is 4 times 5. Only a $10 ticket.
Love
now.
it.
All right, race 3 with the 2 and the 5. Race 4 is the spread for me. I thought there was a lot of ways to go. I got a little value shot in the 3 Battle of a Stone, but let's go 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, and race 5. Eldest son has really improved since being gelded in the barn change. And we'll take a shot there with that one as a single. A pretty good race, but Ness just rolling along. We saw what he did, win 4,000 last weekend. So, yeah, there it is, $10 ticket.
So there we go. As Keith Fusel gives you a little bit of a layout, we'll have an updated ticket for you in the afternoon, but a nice $10 ticket for Keith Fusel. Let's kick off this first leg. Baden claiming 20,000 off the turf event, still 5.5 on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old girls, scratching the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Yeah. Keith, you and I both land on the number 10 Jane Street for Carrie Holbein gets John Brasino.
Yeah, I thought this one, 5-year-old firster last time out. I picked this horse, and I thought, all in all, she ran quite well. She had to move up into it, bumped her after getting kind of jostled around at the break. A little bit of a weight coming to mid-stretch, and then finished up quite well. I know this horse was beaten 11 lengths, but it was a fast race, very quick. Went around like a low 60 to mid-60 kind of number. I was hoping a little bit more speed would stay in. That's my main concern because free admission, targeted main track only, is very, very quick. Now, stamina, it's been an issue, but she's second off the bench, turf to dirt, going to carry that speed a long way here for Salzman.
And as Keith Fusel goes 10, 8, 11, 6 there. You also go with the other Salzman horse. Any words? Morning line 12-1, but that'll come down. But Lucina, John Salzman Sr., John Avello takes the call on this one.
Just speed to get out there and chase around. I mean, nobody's showing that big run, so that speed just might be enough to stay around and catch a piece.
10, 8, 11, 6 for Keith Fusel. In that first leg of the early pick for the second leg, race number 3 is a starter optional 12-5 going 1 mile and 16th on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up scratch in the Ness coupled entry in the number 1 Hurricane Highway, scratch in the 1A American Unity. Keith, you have the number 5 Shady Money. I saw this one back when we first took entries. I said, Keith's going to have this one on top. Rudy Sanchez, Salmon, Axel Concepcion coming back of a beautiful effort from last time out.
Yeah, we've caught Shady Money a couple times, and American Unity, is a key scratch to help the chances. Tate, who's kind of shown more speed since being with Farrier, real kind of a hiccup last time. I can't figure that one out. I just didn't think that was the strongest of fields. Just didn't fire at all. But back here at Laurel, you could see a major turnaround for Tate. But I think Shady Money controlled it last time. Yeah, June 9th was kind of a speed day, speed carry pretty well, but turned away a couple challenges and just kept on going. I thought, reached a little too far after that, went a few races back, got back into reality here, has position again to go ahead and get the lead and control things.
Well, speaking of Tate, let's go ahead and take a look at Tate back from that effort at Pimlico on Preakness Day. Gave a decent effort that day. Yeah,
and internals are okay. 24:48 picked it up. Just an extended duel, as you see the comment there. And Iowan, horse run second, be better. These horses come back and run big. But all in all, Tate still held in quite well. I'm just baffled of that race. Maybe something on
I have an answer if you want to hear it.
Give it to me. Well,
okay,
you're going to hold out. Don't hold out the info.
Let me just scroll to my notes really, really quickly because I did I was wondering about the excuse in that last effort at Penn National.
Okay.
Had some company and ended up being sandwiched late in between horses on the backside and wasn't a fan of that. So also was chasing after. If you watch the rider, was kind of being rushed the entire time. But on top of that, they went 45 on the backside.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I really think just too much, too soon, a little bit cramped. Wasn't a fan of it. Said, I'm out of here.
And coming back to Laurel, they claim this horse for 25. They get a win, get the coveted A other. That's what you like to do when you claim anything 85, 75, 5, 12, 5. Get that A other. Just missing a 2 other than. So they've kind of made the money come back here, target a spot, be a little bit of aggressive, and it works for this barn. This barn, the last 2 years, 5 for 16, 31%, 12 for 16 in the money. Allowance to the claimers in the dirt, on the dirt in Maryland. With an ROI of over $3. So that works. Yeah, I still think Shady Money, he's going to need to clear. I don't think he wants to get in a duel with Tate. Hopefully it's a little bit of a lineup race for me, 5-2-2-5.
And there we have the specialized stat from Keith Fustel there in race number 3 as he goes 5-2-4-6. Race number 4 is a maiden claiming 45, originally on the turf going 5.5, still on the dirt at 5.5 for the 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Scratch the first-time starter, Fire and Knives. Little buddy, and I always seem to forget about this. My Rainbow Pick 6 ticket, a little bit of a structure that I gave you. We are going to be editing that a little, the math, I think, on a little bit of that ticket. But so 3 deep there with the scratch. Race number 4. Race number 5, go 1-3. Again, we need to edit this one, but I believe there is a scratch in race number 6 in the 5. So just 1-3 in race number 6. I single in race number 7. I take a bit of a chance on Liquidator. Liquidator has certainly earned her keep, especially. She's proven her worth for me to put into the faith of taking a single out on her. And in race number 9, that in the last race, the nightcap, that's where I go 4 wide. In that claiming 8,000, 7 furlongs on the dirt is going to make or break this race for a couple in that nightcap there today. So we will have an updated ticket as well for you. But let's turn back to race number 4 that does kick off this Rainbow Pick 6. As I mentioned, scratch in the number 7, the first-time starter, and scratch in the 11 in this maiden 45. Now on the dirt, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 3, Battle of Bastogne for Mike Trombetta. The barn has been on a roll. We've got Johan Rosado on top, and we've got a stat from you as well.
Yeah. This is like a little sneaky play. I like that he keeps this one in the race. Tried turf in debut. Now, comes off the turf, is going to take a shot, and I've got a little note to add after we talk about this stat. But Trombetta, last 3 years, 6 for 12. Obviously, we know that's 50%. 7 for 12 in the money. Turf to dirt, second career start.
Wow.
ROI 490. Now, a couple of those, I think 3 of those wins were off the turf races. But the fact that he's keeping this one in, the fact that this one is a half to post time, a half to what does it take, 2 horses that are proven on the main track, gives me a little hope. Plenty of speed to target. Really just couldn't make a dent into a lone speed. Got away with a soft pace. Did tall order that day. I thought that opening quarter 23. But comes back with a bullet at Fair Hill. A little bit of a shot here for Tromby keeping this one in. Because we've seen Bar Down Express, Box and Ben, they try hard. Plenty of speed, each of them. I think it's 8 seconds combined between both of those. Payzone might be the speed of the speed for Weaver, but did kind of ride the best part of the racetrack that day when running second. Let's take a shot here with a price of Battle Bastogne to run into it.
This is a shot that I like because, I mean, Trombetta, 22% for the meet right now out of a 58 start sampling.
Yeah.
So really consistent throughout this meet as well. So, of course, you go with the number 1 Bar Down Express, Kieran McGee on the rail. Brasino coming in. Brasino potentially having a good day here today on an off-the-turf kind of day. Yeah. It may work out for him, but decent effort 2 back is the key.
Yeah, he and Boxman, they run into Dillinger, some fast horses. And this guy, he's run too good to lose on a couple of occasions. Held pretty good form, I thought, for Kieran back in here for the tag today. Will work. I don't think necessarily needs to lead. We'll have to get Poe because you don't want him pinned in. Payzone and Box and Ben will be forward out there to go ahead and kind of press, maybe even surprise hello. But we'll take a shot. 3 as your live kind of long shot, I think, in here. 1-6-10 underneath. Calming Storm, the blinkers come off today. That was a late kind of a change we got as well. Calming Storm, a couple trouble trips out of the gate. Hesitate again. But certainly, Bourbon Courage is about 13-14% on off track. Closing type might see really things unfold nicely up front.
I love Keith Fustel's value play here today in race number 3 and race number 4. Let's go ahead to race number 5 in this allowance optional claiming 62.5, a 1-turn mile on the dirt for the straight 2-year-old. Scratch in the number 4, La Marvelous. Keith, you and I both have Eldest Son on top. Let's go ahead and take a look at Eldest Son back in the 24th of June.
Yeah, we're going to come back to this most recent race, a win. 3 wins now out of 9 starts. And we talked about, I said it earlier, since the barn change, since the gelding, since being gelded, this horse has really kind of transformed for Jamie Ness. And he's able to kind of just grind things out. This day, 24th, had an edge for horses that were making that steady progression, that closing run. So you might have had a little help. but I like how it runs down, kind of that clear loose leader. Very determined run. 1 turn mile is proven here, swapped over that left lead and back in. But I think Eldest Son, again, looking at the flow. Uncle Jake, who had a little trouble up in New York, I think that was a little bit of a reach in the wood. It rushed up with some speed. Good afternoon, Oscar. No easy days like that before. I think this one it's another trip. You look at the race back when it was first time in the barn back in March at the mile. Similar trip in store.
I like that take as well. You all, but I do like Good Afternoon, Oscar. You're clearly a fan of this stretch out from the 7 to the 8 for the first time here today.
I think it's there. Breeding is okay. I held on quite well after battling through really tough internal fractions. I think if this jock wants to go, I think Cruz can go ahead and go. If he gets a little bit relaxing pace to, he's going to stay around and dog a long way. So that's it. Yeah. I'll key around those two.
5-3 for Keith there in race number 5. We'll be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's race card.
When it comes to getting back in the game, there's only one team to turn to. The team more high school, collegiate, and professional athletes train and recover with. That team is MedStar Sports Medicine. For more than 30 years, MedStar has served as a leader in the diagnosis, treatment, and rehabilitation of orthopedic and sports-related injuries. Ranked among the top programs in the Maryland and Washington regions, we offer rapid access to athletes of all levels. Let the pros who treat the pros treat you. MedStar Sports Medicine.
And welcome back, and we kick things right back off with that jackpot super high five, $3,131 carryover, and it does begin and end here in this claiming 25. Originally on the turf, but now a 1 turn mile on the dirt for the girls 3 and up. Scratch the 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, and 13. Keith, you land on the number 3. I get
Ramadan?
Yes, it's a thing with me. I can't get it every single time, so thank you for that. Anthony Ferrier, Sheldon Russell comes back and tries the slop for the first time here today.
Yeah, we'll see how this track is, by race 6. If the sun stays out, I think we'll get to good, but maybe some more will stay in this racetrack. Hasn't tried it, but I think we'll be okay. Wanted turf. I think dirt is just fine. I think they're just happy with this. This horse has run some good races. It took a lot of times to break the maiden, but positional speed, a bump up in class, that confidence move. I think I used that as a stat maybe a couple weeks ago with Ferrier doing like the double jump, the 50% jump in Maryland. It's been good.
Yes.
So, double pace and gold, your top selection. Yeah, I could see her. I mean, she's going to be forward against this group. I think she has to be in that striking position around the turn. I just think maybe claimed off a little bit of a negative drop. Didn't really fire last time. That's the way I'm going to take Ramadan to kind of stalk and move into it. I think Miss Antietam's interesting. Kind of got it together off a couple tough trips for Rob back to the dirt last time. Yeah, was gasping for everything when the wire came at 7/8, but had to battle through pretty good internals last time. Might have softened her up a little bit. I think she's going to be on the engine, go ahead and go, and if she gets a chance to kind of relax a hair, for that long run into the far turn, she's going to have a chance to stay around here, but Ramadan to kind of take aim around the turn and move into it.
There we go. Keith Visa goes 3-8-7-9 with a nice little value play on Ramadan for Anthony Ferrier. Race number 7 isn't another allowance optional, claiming 62.5, going 5.5 on the dirt as intended for the 3-year-old girls, straight 3-year-old girls. You take a swig at Miss Georgie, coming off the layoff for Lacey Gaudet, Johan Rosado, a highly touted Gaudet filly.
Yeah, take a kind of the new face here. Miss Georgie flashed some talent earlier in her career at 2. Had some starts, 5 starts at 2. She got to come back. Here we go again. Happy Clouds liquidated their battle. But Miss Georgie faced the right kind. Was thrown to the wolves in this spinaway. Yeah, but I like that race September 30th in that optional. You see the comment, inside, check, shut off, upper. I went back and watched it, even in our long footnote, commented about how well that she kept on to the wire despite being kind of checked sharply out of there. Next time out, a good run in the Smart Halo, just met a better horse that day. So gets the break, comes back. I would have liked to see maybe this track stay a little bit wetter. We'll see, because those Skirvins are 25% right now on the wet track. I think Miss Georgie has a chance to go ahead with all the speed just to her inside. High right away, Sweet Chucks, they kind of all want to go. Liquidator wants to be close. I think she can stalk and move into it.
There we have it. And you, thankfully, you have Liquidator underneath, as you mentioned, Linda Albert on a roll. 18% actually in this meet so far for the summer meet at Laurel Park.
Liquidator. You got to love the fight that she brings to the table every time. Another one, if the moisture stays in the track, it's fine. It might move her up just a little bit. She's just got to be careful of getting that kind of squeeze trip early with Alexa Sweet Chugs inside and high right away, kind of trying to go ahead and put that pressure on. But she has the ability to kind of ease back and move into it. Happy Clouds just hasn't, last time out I thought had every right at a short price to go by. I know it was caught wide, but had everything in front of her. We'll see if she can bounce back. But I go with the new face here in Miss Georgie for Lacey Gaudet.
First off the layoff after a bit is Keith Usa goes 6-3-2-1 there in race number 7. Race number 8 is a starter optional 12.5. Going a mile on the dirt as well, as this was taken off the turf as well, was scratching the 2.5, 7, and 8. Keith, you and I both land on Wicked Mad for Hugh McMahon gets Axel Concepcion in the saddle.
Nice race, even though it's a short field. I just don't, I just couldn't visualize anything because that's the way I explain races. I want to paint a picture how this race is going to develop. Right. This one here, you got me. I'm clueless. Wicked Mad, third off of a break, turf to dirt, but has a couple tries that work for me. The barn, I kind of heating back up, had a little bit of a lull, doing all right. I think we're going to have to be within it early. You don't want Goddess Love to go ahead and get away with along with Chauffeur, but tentative. Wicked Mad. It's not a love pick. It's kind of a like a little bit pick.
It's a wicked pick.
Yeah.
It's a wicked pick as Keith Usa goes 3-1-6-4 in race number 8. Race number 9 is claiming 8,007 furlongs on the dirt. For the girls, 3 and up, you and I both land on the number 2, Bad Temper for Horace Parker, Al Delgado. Clearly that race 2 back was a bit of a key race.
Yeah, I think this horse might still hold a little bit of value in here. Just from the barn's sake, a barn that doesn't run a lot of horses. Esperana, reached and ran good. I mean, she's the one to catch. She's quick, and she should be able to carry it quite a way. I mean, went very, very fast last time out against a better field, but she can get a little bit leg weary here late. Bad Temper, turf to dirt angle has worked before, and this one, I tell you, really dogged hot-looking Royal after that early trouble. I like the way she stayed on, and comparing the final time against a couple of those, there was a couple 7/8 races that day. It was good. So maybe looks a little light. Had to get help to get to that, through that 3-in-life condition. But maybe the form on the dirt is just improving, where some of these other ones right now are a little bit of a question mark. I think Tequila Fall getting back to Laurel is going to work. You see some tries way down on the page against some better horses. That starter company, Escape Fun, Bocce, horses like that, multiple winners. She has enough speed to stay close. It's that when she makes that move in Esperanza around her, is she going to be able to sustain at 7/8 coming off at the Charlestown track?
And there we have it. Keith Usa goes 2-3-5-4. A nice little mystery there in our nightcap. And now let's dig in a little bit to a little bit of Keith's picks here in the lightning round. Let's start off with your value play. Battle Ab Bastogne. I love this pick for Trombetta and Rosado early on and to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6.
I mean, and then looking at the I don't have the morning line right in front of me. I should, but I mean, looking at
6-1.
Yeah, let's get something about that. I think we should, because money's got to be spread. You got to think. Weaver's horse is going to take a slew of play along with Kieran and Box and Band. 6, 7, 8-1 Battle of Bastogne. I'll know by about the 3/8. So I hope he's sitting there with a mitt full and can make that move, winning move. Because Bar Down Express, couple of these horses, they're going to be tough to get by because they're going to fight you.
I love it. And then your best bet of the day is not too far later on, race number 6 with the number 3. Ramadan. There we go. Ramadan for Anthony Ferrier.
I just think finds the right kind of field, and I don't think they were mad that this race came off the turf. I think it might even be a little bit easier for her. Some of those races at Gulfstream, the Churchill. It's going to work. I mean, I don't think she has to improve much, and I like her ability to kind of sit just off of it. A couple of these horses, the mile, getting that mile. A horse like Isabel's Glory might need a little bit of help. I know she can kind of get it. She can grind it out. She's kind of been out of condition her last couple, but Ramadan, I think, gets the jump on a horse like that and is able to hold on.
There we have it. Keith Fustel's value play and best bet of the day. Now, we touched on it earlier. Let's bookend a little bit with that fact. Jamie Ness getting his 4,000th win over here at Laurel with Sing Scat early on to kick off the racing for Sunday. And, of course, we're going to highlight Sing Scat and then our Nation on Parade. But what a career this guy has had so far, Keith.
Yeah. I mean, what did he say? I read something he might have lost with his first 30-some starters or whatever.
I'm on it. Yep, 30 or 40.
Yeah,
yes.
Reading the release. Thanks, guys, for that. And then just kind of turned on. He's been able to kind of win anywhere. Takes his horses anywhere. Surface, doesn't matter. The younger horses, he's been able to kind of develop some younger horses as well. So, yeah, ton of wins. Sinks got at 4,000 right off the bat the other day. Threw the knockout punch, was clear early, and it was over.
Got it done. Got it done. And he said, I can breathe for the rest of the day. It was great. It was great. But what was interesting is that, so he graduated from South Dakota State, and then he started off in media relations at Canterbury, and then he started, that's how he started, then he started training and handling that career as well. So then, obviously, he went full-time in 2004 and has never looked back. But there's a wonderful press release about Jamie Ness on laurelpark.com under news, and it gives you all of the stats on what Jamie has been doing. He just hit off. I'm trying to take a look at. There we go. He pushed his lifetime bankroll over $79.5 million. So 4 career graded stakes win, 2 coming this year with Repo Rocks and Aqueducts Toboggan and Belmont Park's Westchester. So consistent and steady. He says, he has about 140 in training. It's not just a village, but a community that gets his barn going. But regardless, much success to him.
A ton. Yeah. Like I said, Repo Rocks, right? I mean, how we missed that one? How man, he's just gone great guns of late, Repo Rocks. But I just don't know how some of these trainers do it with the day in day out operations with that many horses.
Easy.
How do you keep it straight? Man, there's no way. I don't think I could pull that one off. You better have a heck of a team, support staff around you in the barn, in the office, doing that work as well. But 4,000 and moving on.
He was quick to highlight. Let's see how long it takes to get him to 5,000 for Jamie Ness. But not anytime soon, as we have him in a couple of races overall throughout this weekend. But let's see what racing brings us here for Friday. Off to Dave Rodman now for some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.